Hello, you join me at a place called Simon's Wood, doing a little scout for springtime really, and hopefully we can get a couple of shots today, but as you can see around, there's not many leaves or flowers or anything about much. I've seen a few crocuses, but that's about it. But I've seen a couple of things that might have a bit of potential, so hopefully we'll inspect them and have a look and get the camera out. I found my first shot now. I looked over here to where all these silver birches are, and I saw the very still reflection in the water. I'll spin you around to show you. There we go. But the problem I was finding here was that there's so much overhanging growth along this way that I actually couldn't get to the spot I wanted to find an open area for it, because I would ideally have liked to have gone more head on, but this is through this whole side of the lake, the only spot that I'm available to get a clearish view of the actual side of the lake, which is unfortunate, but I'd rather the trees be healthy than have a shot. So I've currently got my Nikon Z6 II with my 24-70 on it, and it's just about the right length to be getting this particular scene in. I think it will probably be better to be doing more of a letterbox sort of crop for this. I don't want to get the sky in and make it look more sort of abstract. So I'll once I've framed it up, I'll come back and show you what I've got. I just had a gimbal in the dirt incident, but hopefully it survived. Well, it survived so far anyway. Hopefully it don't go wrong subsequently. But here's the shot I've got on this back, if you can see it. Excuse the reflections, but I'll see if I can move that. Yeah, on a sort of half and half sort of look to it, like that. And try not to get too much of the sky in up there, or down here, with the reflection of the sky. And the reason I like this bit is the more angled stuff. The more angled, what's the word? Well, the trunks that are more angled over gives it a bit of a sort of something a bit more interesting in the reflection. So I'll take this and I'll put the full screen. I'll put the full screen up on the screen right now, if it comes out right. I'm currently moving on to my second shot, which at this location is sort of seen as the honeypot sort of shot, because it's the most clearest view of the little island that you might have seen earlier in the lake. And yeah, but it's all the way around the other side, so we better make the way there before the sun gets too low. Here we have the shot. Personally, I think we've actually left it a bit too late in the day, seeing as the sun is barely above them trees. And but oh well, it's only a scout. So, and also it's a bit of a shame that we don't actually have the water lilies that make an appearance down here during the summer. And one of my previous attempts from here actually had me all the way back down here, shooting through this bit of fencing to get the lilies into the shot below the island. But yeah, with this, I'm currently at 1/50th at f11 on ISO 100, but I'm currently bracketing it because there's a bit of high cloud that you might be able to see if I darken it down. That's probably the best it's going to get. So it's a bit of a pain, seeing as it's quite a contrasty scene. But yeah, hopefully we can get a decent shot here, and we can then move on and see what else I can find. So hopefully we can make a good bracket out of what we've got today, and I think I might actually have to move this about a bit. Yeah, I think the one stop in increments isn't actually far enough. I might actually put another set and start from 2 below rather than 1. Hang on, why is it still saying 3? Oh, I didn't confirm it. Okay, there we go. Just do this, and if it comes out alright, I'll put it on the screen. There's the highest one. Oh, too far. And there's the lowest one. So yeah, it looks like I've got all the data I need in the shots. So yeah, let's move on. Turns out I didn't need to exposure bracket in this composition, as I found I did have enough dynamic range in one exposure, which was surprising. As you can see, I did mess up as I've chopped off the top of the trees in the reflection. I decided to see if I could remedy this by using the Generative Expand feature in Photoshop. The portion in the box at the bottom is all AI generated. As I didn't have another shot of the top of the tree's reflection, I could have composited the shot with in the usual way. I think it did an alright job considering, but it did take a lot of tries to get a believable, realistic option generated, probably at least 30 attempts. And even then it's not perfect. On anything larger than a phone screen, the textures don't really hold up either, as when you zoom in and look at the details, for example, look at the bottom of the reflection, the pine needles are just green clunky lines, and that's with enhanced details on as well. So at least for Adobe's current software, it wouldn't be possible for printing, although I guarantee within a year or two it will probably be much better and a very powerful tool. As a side note, any images with AI generated fill content I will always disclose, as you start falling into the murky realms of ethics and the borders of photography and digital art, but that's for another time and place. I'm now on my way back home, starting the journey. Currently I'm just looking through the trees to see where the low sun hits. I was drawn to this particular one over here. I have taken a shot, but I don't really think it's all that amazing, but I don't know, maybe something like that. It's just got some nice dappled light on it, so hopefully I'll find some other stuff as I walk back, and if I find it, then happy days. But I I knew coming here it wasn't really going to be all that fruitful, as it's the part of the year where there's not really that much going on in terms of sort of foliage or flowers or anything like that. Although sometimes with no foliage, you do get some striking contrasts this time of year, but you do have to seek them out. They're not always that immediately noticeable, and especially when you're in woods that are a lot of the same type of trees, it's quite difficult to find something that actually stands out. So hopefully I will find something else and I'll update you with that, but if I don't, this is probably going to be the end of the video, and I'll put the shot of that tree up over there. There we go, if it comes out nice. But thanks for watching the video, and goodbye.